No matter what your health concerns are, if you want to discover how to nourish yourself holistically, explore optimal nutrition and digestion, and embody nourishment beyond just food and supplements for a total health and wellness transformation, then listen in. Have you already tried various diets, supplements, or protocols, and you haven't seen any change in your health and wellness? Or maybe you saw some improvement, but then you got stuck. Or maybe you feel so confused with everything out there that you just don't know where to start. Or maybe you just found out about a health condition or a food allergy that you need guidance on knowing how and what to eat and where to start and what to do about it. Today, we're going to go in depth on one of the pillars of the Radiant Health Protocol, holistic nutrition and nourishment. This is all about supporting your body optimally with whole foods, optimizing your digestion, discovering how to nourish your physical body beyond just nutrition, learning how to nurture your mind, the thoughts that you're thinking, your emotions and energies, and how to feed your soul for radiant health and wellness, no matter the signs and symptoms that you have or the diagnoses or conditions. Because when you're facing health challenges, whatever they may be, it's a sign that you are out of alignment on a holistic level. And the reason why you haven't made progress that you've wanted in your health and wellness is because you haven't appropriately addressed the 6 pillars that are the underlying root causes. These are the pillars of the Radiant Health Protocol that I'll quickly introduce now: holistic nutrition and nourishment, integrative detoxification, comprehensive gut health and healing, nervous system regulation, emotional energetics, and decoding the body. You need to work all of these pillars together in your unique prescription, integratively and quantumly, to see lasting change. Because your body is a universe. It is quantum. And if we only focus on one pillar, then we're not getting the whole picture. And we're not treating all of the underlying root causes. And my name is Dr. Beata, and I'm a holistic and integrative doctor. I created the Radiant Health Protocol after years of research, personal experience, working with mentors, and continued education. And I'm here to help you avoid mistakes and save time, money, and resources based on all that I've learned and experienced. And this is what actually works for health transformation. I integrate these pillars in a specific prescription for each client. And I work with clients with all sorts of signs, symptoms, and diagnoses. And I do specialize in 4 main areas of weight loss, digestion, gut health, and food allergies, fertility, prenatal and postnatal care, and anxiety, overwhelm, and burnout. And this is video 2 of this masterclass series on holistic nutrition and mind, body, and soul nourishment of the 6 pillars of the Radiant Health Protocol and the masterclass series. So type Radiant in the comments for the link to sign up for the entire masterclass series, to get all of the bonuses right in your inbox, and to make sure you don't miss anything. And if you haven't seen the first video, make sure you go back and watch it, because I share a lot of our story and give you lots of tips and action steps in there as well. And the next videos in this series after this one will each focus on one pillar of the Radiant Health Protocol, with lots of tips and action steps sprinkled throughout, so that you can start transforming your health today. So again, comment Radiant and I'll get you that link. And the truth is that you can't achieve wellness and optimal well-being by only looking at one pillar, whether you've already looked at diet or gut health or emotions or energy work. You need a comprehensive, holistic, and integrative system. Put 1 in the comments if that makes sense to you, and put a 2 in the comments if this is new to you. Because I remember when this was new to me, and I was just learning about it, and I was really curious. So no matter where you are on your journey, it's okay. This is still for you. And I encourage you to be interactive during this masterclass. When you are interactive and you engage and you type in the comments, you'll actually be able to remember more. You'll incorporate more into your journey, and you'll help others feel a sense of community. And you'll also help get this information out to even more people. So if there's someone you know that would benefit from discovering this approach and learning more, take a moment to tag them now and hit the share button. I really appreciate it. And the more we get this word out, the more of an impact we can make on the world and health and wellness as a whole. And so if you are watching live, go ahead and do hashtag live. If you're watching the replay, go ahead and do hashtag replay and let me know where you're tuning in from, because I've worked with people from all over the world and I love seeing where everyone's from. And myself, I'm in Massachusetts right now in the northeastern US, and I do see clients in person in Connecticut and Massachusetts, and I work virtually with clients from all over the world. I've worked with clients all over the US, in Canada, in Europe, in Asia. So go ahead and type where you're from, because you may find someone not too far from you as well. And also in the comments, let me know if you are watching this masterclass for you, for maybe for your baby or your child, or for a family member or a friend. And also let me know if you're a practitioner, because there are many practitioners who are realizing that the approach that they've been using so far has been good, but it may not be all encompassing and that there are parts missing. And this is a key part of my own journey as a practitioner that I shared in that first video. And if you are a practitioner, make sure you sign up for the series, because I also have special video trainings in this masterclass series that are just for practitioners. So go ahead and put practitioner in the comments. And also, I've got a new mentorship for practitioners or people who want to become practitioners to discover how they can use this system to get even better results, not just for themselves, but with clients, save time, and make a profound impact on the world. So also in the comments, let me know, how long have you been into holistic and integrative health and medicine? Are you just starting out? Have you tried a couple things? Are you a veteran that's been doing this for years? Let me know, because again, we're all in different parts of our journey, and this masterclass is for everyone, no matter where you are. So in this video, we're going to discover how to actually nourish our body using holistic nutrition and what that really means and how you can start applying it today. We're going to discover optimal digestion and how that's important for absorption and utilization of all the wonderful nutrients in the food that you're eating. We're going to touch on various diets like keto and paleo, and how the Radiant Health Protocol is very different from a program that just gives you a meal plan, or is different than reading a book or getting some recipes online. Completely different. And then we're also going to talk about food allergies, sensitivities, and intolerances, and how this has an effect on inflammation and health. We're going to touch on epigenetics, supplements. We're going to explore mind, body, and soul nourishment. And as always, I give you lots of tips and action steps that you can use today for overall health, wellness, and vitality. And I'm also going to extend an invitation for a discounted package for those who want to skip making mistakes and get results faster by working together to address their underlying root causes. This includes a full month of support, a one-on-one consultation, assessment evaluation, and more to create your personalized plan and customized solutions. So if this approach resonates with you, and you're ready to identify and address the root causes that will create the shift for you to reclaim your health, wellness, and vitality, put Radiant in the comments, click below, and get the discounted package with a month of support today. It's currently 89% off and will be through the end of the month, and then the price is going up. So before we jump into the nutrition and nourishment piece, I quickly want to present the 6 pillars that I've been talking about that have been missing on your journey. So the first one I'm going to present is comprehensive gut health and healing. And this is delving way beyond supplements and probiotics. We explore how to nurture your microbiome, how to heal and seal the gut wall, how to optimize digestion for holistic wellness. This is a cornerstone of health. Our gut is literally a built-in pharmacy, and it affects everything from hormones to inflammation to food allergies, our mental and emotional states, weight loss, and more. And again, I'm going to be doing a full masterclass video on this pillar alone, so make sure you get the series. Next is integrative detoxification. So this is exploring detox beyond a cleanse. We discover how to open detox pathways, how to support detox organs, and understand the interplay with emotions and energetics and the nervous system. And then nervous system regulation is its own pillar, where we regulate your nervous system and unlock your body's innate potential for healing. We explore techniques to break free from perpetual stress responses and cultivate a state of balance and vitality so that you can rest and digest, you can heal, and your body can work optimally. Next is emotional energetics and spiritual alignment. This is where we start understanding the connection between emotions and energy and physical health. We clear past wounds and traumas. We align with your true essence and tap into divine intuition for guidance. Then there is decoding your body. And this pillar is so important because it literally connects everything. Your body communicates continuously with you, and learning to decipher its messages and address the root causes rather than masking symptoms with Band-Aid solutions makes a huge difference. This is where resolution of symptoms happens. This is where we get profound understanding. We use tools such as intuitive eating, divine muscle testing, intuition training, and also decoding the signs and symptoms of your body to empower your health journey and reclaim vitality. And then the pillar that we're going to focus on today, again, is holistic nutrition and nourishment, where we're going to discover the keys to nourishing your body holistically. We're going to learn how to fuel your body with nutrient-rich foods and cultivate a harmonious relationship with food for radiant health and vitality. We're going to enhance well-being from within, as well as mind and soul nourishment. And this whole system is the solution for any health or wellness challenges by addressing the actual underlying root causes for lasting change, rather than relying on Band-Aid solutions like medication or supplements. So put a 1 in the comments if that's you. You want to get to the underlying root causes, and you want resolution, and you want to avoid medication, Band-Aid solutions. You want to get radiantly well. And as a mom, a practitioner, and a mentor, I understand the challenges of balancing family, health, and life demands. Put a 1 in the comments if you know how that can be. That's why I've dedicated years to uncovering what actually works for true well-being. So you don't have to waste your time on trial and error like I did. And if you're a practitioner, they don't teach this in school. And take a moment now just to check in. How would it change your life to have absolute mastery of your nutrition and nourishment? What would that make possible for you? What opportunities would open up? And how would it change your daily life? And not just health and wellness, but your relationships, your family life, showing up for your kids or your partner. How would it change the way that you could show up in business or your career? How would it affect your finances, your social life? Just keep this in mind as we go, because you may start making the connections already. So let's dive into holistic nutrition and nourishment. And again, this is not just about food. This is nourishment on mind, body, and soul levels. And I do want to start with nutrition because that is what most people are most familiar with. And food is so powerful in healing when we use it correctly. So when we're talking about this, what I look at is eating nutrient-dense foods that nourish our bodies and provide what we need. Real food, high-quality animal products, organic fruits and vegetables, protein, fat. We can use food in so many amazing, powerful ways. We look at healing foods, nourishing foods, foods that are bioavailable. And what this means is that our body can actually absorb and utilize the nutrition. So the nutrients, the vitamins, the minerals. And one little tip for you is that you can't find this in fortified food. So foods that are bioavailable is what your body recognizes and knows what to do with. But when foods are fortified, your body doesn't recognize the chemicals and additives in there. When foods are so highly processed, your body doesn't know what to do with them. And so this actually creates inflammation. So again, for those who sign up for the Masterclass series, you get a bonus video that is going to go in depth on fortified foods. And, I was there too. So if you're like, oh man, I do eat, the bars and the shakes and, whatever else there is right now, right? I want you to know that it's okay because I was there. So I remember when I was in college, I was actually getting my nutrition degree at the time. And I was learning about the importance of, making sure you get all of your vitamins and minerals and whatnot. And you know what I was drinking at the time? I was drinking Diet Coke, the one that was, I think it was called Diet Coke Plus, that was fortified with vitamin B and vitamin C and all of these fantastic things, or so I thought. And what I didn't realize is that I was eating a lot of fortified bars and things like that. I was actually malnourished at the time because my diet was so heavily that I wasn't getting actual nutrition that my body could utilize. So I thought I was getting, like on paper on the label, it says that I was getting 1,000% of vitamin B, whatever. but I didn't realize that my body actually wasn't able to utilize it. I was peeing out most of that. And so that's the thing that is so important, is knowing how to use food in a way that your body's actually going to be able to recognize and your body's actually going to be able to use. So a lot of those fortified foods, your body is not using that nutrition. It is just going right through you, and it can actually be causing inflammation and creating more of a toxic load and workload on your body. So that's a really important tip that many people don't know of. So it's important to know how to use real food, whole foods, to give yourself nutrition. And so also, how are we preparing and cooking our food? That's really important and matters. It can improve our digestion and the nourishment that we're able to use. So by knowing how to prepare and cook your food, you can actually increase the absorption and you can actually optimize the digestion of it. And then when we talk about our digestive system, right, we need to optimize our digestion. There are many steps to the digestive process. So our carbohydrate digestion is different than our protein digestion, which is different than our fat digestion. And we need to make sure that all of those steps are working appropriately, because if they're not, again, we could be eating all of this wonderful food, but if our body's not able to actually utilize it and to transform it into the particles that it needs to be able to absorb and to utilize appropriately, then it's not going to work. And again, even that nourishing food can actually be causing inflammation and become more of a burden to the body than a help to the body. So it's really important that our digestion is working optimally. Now, some signs and symptoms to know if your digestion isn't working optimally are some of the signs and symptoms that many of you have. So it may be digestive symptoms like reflux. It may be digestive issues like diarrhea or constipation. It may be a lot of gas and bloating. It may be seeing undigested food in your stools. It may be a feeling of sluggishness or fatigue or brain fog. It may be autoimmunity. It may be skin issues. This is many ways how suboptimal digestion can actually show up physically. Again, this is part of the decoding your body's process, but I want to mention these because, again, some of you may start making those connections now. And we also need to be aware of food allergies, intolerances, and sensitivities, because when we're actually eating food that our body is reacting to, it increases inflammation. And it actually can create, again, more of a burden on our body. And we can be eating food that we think is healthy, quote unquote, but if it's not in alignment with our body, it's actually going to be creating a stress response and decreasing our health and wellness. So for those of you who want to learn more about this, or maybe if you know that you already have a food allergy intolerance, I have a free masterclass. Go ahead and just put food allergy in the comments and I'll get you the link for that free masterclass. And again, this is very bio-individual. So the foods that are good for one person and healthy for one person may not be for another, and that's okay. We just need to know how to work with our body to identify these and be able to work with it. Now, this doesn't mean it has to be forever, because our individuality and that responsiveness changes over time. So in different parts of our journey, we may have an allergic reaction or intolerance to certain foods, but they can change. So it's so important to know how to work with our body through this journey. And again, there's other bio-individual factors other than just like a single food. So let's say like a peanut allergy or a dairy allergy. There are things such as oxalates and salicylates and histamine and lectins and others that our body can be reacting to that, again, we need to be able to identify and address appropriately in our diet. Again, this is bio-individual and it doesn't mean forever. So one of the things that I do have as a resource is a tracker that can help people start to identify their signs and symptoms with the foods that they're eating and start putting the pieces together. So if you'd like that tracker, go ahead and just put tracker in the comments and I'll get you the link for that. So again, we need to identify and eliminate foods that are a detriment to our health. And I talked about the things that are bio-individual to us, but there are also things that are just globally in general, things that most people should avoid. And these are processed foods. So again, we mentioned before how fortified foods and processed foods, our body's not able to recognize them, absorb them, and utilize them. So we need to be avoiding processed foods as much as possible, because we want, again, to be nourishing our body with things that we can actually get nourishment from. And again, this is important because I really strongly believe that cooking is one of the best ways that we can empower ourselves. And not just that, but we take agency over our health and our family's health when we cook for ourselves, when we learn how to, again, prepare and cook foods in nourishing ways. So this is so important to get that processed food out as much as possible and start learning how to have agency and empowerment over our food and our cooking. The next thing is refined sugar. So this is something, like cane sugar, even those coconut sugars and things like that you see in the marketplace. Refined sugar is inflammatory. It is processed, so the nutrients, any nutrients that may have been there have been stripped of it, and it actually creates inflammation and more of a burden for our body. So take out the refined sugars. The next thing is refined and processed oils like seed oils. They are rancid. They increase inflammation. They increase our toxic load. They make our body work harder. They are inflammatory. And so for those who sign up for the series, you get a bonus training on the importance of fats and recognizing what to eat, what fats are going to be beneficial and what fats to avoid. So make sure you put Radiant in the comments and sign up for the series to get that bonus. Now, let's talk about different diet plans because there are so many different diets out there. And maybe you've heard of things like keto or paleo or the FODMAP diet or other elimination diets or AIP. The list goes on and on. There's so many of them out there. Now, it's not saying that those aren't good. The challenge is they need to be tailored and customized to you. And the other thing to remember is that they're not made to be forever. So, when we look at these diets, right, we need to be aware of the fact that they're not made to be a lifelong diet because they are made for a specific part in our journey. And so maybe we need to be on a FODMAP diet for a period of time. If you've been on that for years and you're not able to transition out of it, it means that healing isn't actually happening. So we need to, again, look at holistic nourishment, and we need to look at the rest of the Radiant Health Protocol pillars to see what's happening. What is not allowing you to heal to be able to transition off of that diet? Because diets need to change over time as your state changes, as your journey changes, as your nutrition needs change. And again, this is important because with food allergies or intolerances, we may have a diet plan that we find online, and I've experienced this personally, but maybe some of those foods you're actually allergic to or intolerant to. So you may be eating them, actually creating more inflammation and more of a burden on your body. So we need to tailor this and customize this to you. And so it needs to be in alignment with you. And that's, again, the work that I do with clients. I work closely with them to create a custom protocol and diet. And we need to become aware of, again, eating real food versus how much processed food we're eating. We need to look at the ingredients. So it doesn't matter what it says on the front. It may say natural and dairy-free and gluten-free and, sugar-free on the front, but turn around and look at the actual ingredients, right? So that's another tip that I can give you in an action step. Whatever processed food you're going to eat next, it's okay, no judgment or shame. Just take a look at the back. Take a look at the actual ingredients. Are there artificial sweeteners in there? Are there chemical additives? Are there preservatives? Are there seed oils in there? Again, all of these things increase inflammation, they increase our toxic load, and they make our body work harder. They are working against our health and wellness. So again, we need to work closely together to see what these foods are. How can we use diet and nutrition and food in a really powerful and healing way? And again, I work closely with clients no matter what they're presenting with. So you may have digestion signs and symptoms, you may have eczema, may have low energy levels or brain fog or anxiety or others. We need to work closely to see where the gaps are in your journey and to fill them, right? To make that connection. And that's why I have these two options for you. So I have the Masterclass series that is free. And then for those of you who do want that support and guidance, I have this amazing package that's 89% off for a full month of support, consultation to create your custom plan. Lots of bonuses as well. And I wanted to share a quick client story because working with someone can help you see things that you don't see otherwise. So there was a client that I was working with, and they, were doing a lot of really wonderful things. and they had some digestive symptoms and they couldn't lose some weight. And so we were working together, and I noticed that they were using a creamer in their, it was like a herbal tea that they were using. They were using a creamer, and the ingredients were natural in that sense. They didn't have additives and preservatives like many creamers do. So creamer is a great one to go ahead and check if you're using that right now. But what they didn't realize is the amount of sugar in there. Holy moly, how much sugar was in there. So by realizing that one piece, we cut out 1,000 calories a day of pure sugar, which was such an eye-opener. And so it wasn't that they were, they just didn't know. It was one of those things that they needed someone to take a look and to have that perspective. And again, there's so much more than that when we start making those connections in diets, but it can be as simple as that as well with your diet. So there are certain things that are really beneficial to work together with, because not just that, I've worked with clients where I've identified a salicylate intolerance or a lectin intolerance or a histamine intolerance. And therefore we can allow their body to heal when we, again, start making the connections and start really identifying and addressing the root causes. So one of the other things that I specialize in are breastfeeding elimination diets, pregnancy diets, if you're trying to conceive, autoimmunity, again, digestive issues, because these have specific, circumstances that we need to be aware of. So especially with things like pregnancy, trying to conceive, breastfeeding, there are certain things that we need to be aware of. And this is something that I specialize in after having experienced myself. And again, I share more about my journey in that first video in the Masterclass series. So make sure you go back and watch that. So I have experience with the most sensitive populations, which is wonderful because I can work with that population, and it makes it easier to work with the general population as well. I can catch patterns and I can help you move through things easily. I don't make it complicated, okay? Now, I do want to talk about something next, which is epigenetics. And this is a study of how our genetics are influenced by our environment and lifestyle. And this is so important to mention because there are a lot of people that have this preconception that, oh no, in my family, there's a genetic predisposition for heart disease. There's a genetic predisposition to be bigger. There's a genetic disposition for digestive issues, whatever it can be. What I want you to know is that this is a researched, scientific, proven study, essentially, with epigenetics, that the food that we eat can turn genes on and off and alter the expression of our genes. So this is so important to mention because this is a myth buster that we are not our genes. So even though you may have a genetic predisposition for something, it doesn't mean that that is your fate. There are things that you can do. You have agency over your lifestyle, over your nutrition, and we can change this. We can alter this. And the other thing I want to talk about is supplements as well, because this is another myth that I want to bust, that supplements are beneficial and that everyone needs supplements. I'm here to tell you that supplements can actually create a toxic load on your body. And I like to work with whole food as much as possible. Because when we look at a bottle of supplements, so same thing, this is a processed ingredient. So when you look at the bottle, there are additives in there, there are chemicals usually added in there are preservatives, and those can create a toxic load on our body. They create more of a burden on our body. And it's so important to be aware of this because we may be thinking that all of these supplements and vitamins and, drinks that we're having that are beneficial, but they're actually a processed food in a way. So the approach that I take is let's use whole food as much as possible. Now, are there certain circumstances where maybe a supplement is beneficial? Yes, sometimes it is. And it is for a short period of time. Let's use whole foods to support you and give you the nourishment that you need instead of relying on supplements for the long term. That is my approach. And I have a whole video on supplements that, again, you'll get as part of the free Masterclass series. So make sure you sign up. And you can also just put supplements in the comments and I'll give you that specific video because it is so important to be aware of that and to start recognizing that all supplements are not equal and that they're not all that beneficial. There is a financial gain that a lot of these companies get, And when I do recommend supplements, I look at the highest quality level, the most clean supplements that I can find to get the job done instead of loading your body toxically. And I'll be honest, I get approached by supplement companies and people who work for different, MLMs and whatnot of supplements all the time. And the first thing I always ask is, let me see a list of the ingredients. And if they don't pass my test, I don't look at them. And that goes for 99% of the people that approach me. So it's one of those things that I take this very seriously. We don't want to increase your toxic load. We want to use nourishment from real whole foods that your body can recognize, can absorb, and utilize. All right, so enough about food. Let's talk about all the other ways that you can nourish ourselves. And let's stay with our body, right? What about nourishing our body with movement? So my original background is in orthopedic manual physical therapy, which gives me a really unique advantage because that is such a subspecialty and gives me such a different way of looking at our bodies and our movement and our nourishment. Because with this subspecialty, I did body work, which is hands-on manual therapy work. And so that is so crucial. It gives our body nourishment in ways their healing touch is a real thing. And we need that healing touch in our lives, in our experience. And so body work is a way to get that. And also it helps us, again, decode the body as to where we're holding tension. And then we start connecting the emotions and the energies associated with it. It gives us relaxation. It helps regulate our nervous system. Again, it's all quantumly integrated and connected there. And then when we talk about just movement, right, we can be doing all of these crazy workouts, but if they're creating more strain on our body and can actually cause injury, is that really nourishing? No. So we need to be able to move our body in nourishing ways that is aligned with us in our journey, right? Because that changes throughout our journey, and ways that it's not creating too much extra stress on our body. So just a quick example from my own journey is that I used to be a distance runner. And what I didn't realize is that that was not in alignment with me at all. I got so many musculoskeletal injuries, and it was actually increasing my cortisol, which is a stress hormone, because I was doing so much distance running. And I couldn't lose weight at the time. I had a lot of digestion issues because my body was never my nervous system was never regulating. I wasn't getting into rest and digest because my cortisol levels were so high from all of the distance running that I was doing. Now, this doesn't go for everyone. And again, this is where the customization and tailored process comes in. But one of those things is when I switched to nourishing movement, everything changed. My digestion improved. I was able to lose weight. This is such a key component that a lot of people don't recognize, and how that cortisol affects our autoimmunity. It affects our mental and emotional states and other things as well. And not just that, because we can swing to the opposite side of the spectrum, which is lack of movement. If we aren't moving enough, then we're not nourishing our body as well. So one of the easiest things that I can recommend for everyone is get outside into nature. Get outside into nature, go for a walk for 15 minutes. Don't overcomplicate it. You don't need more than that to start. Just get outside and move your body in a way that feels good to you and is nourishing. And again, for tailored and customized support, that's where working together comes in. Other things we want to be aware of is our circadian rhythm, right? Are we going to sleep at an appropriate time, or are we staying up till 2 or 3 in the morning? That throws off everything. It throws off our nervous system regulation. It throws off our body processes and functioning. It throws off our body's natural healing state and healing abilities, throws off our energy and vitality, so many things there. And so I know some of you may be up all night with a small child. I want you to know that I've been there as well, and I know how that throws off our circadian rhythm. And it is a phase, and there are things that you can do as well. So again, that's where I'm here to support you. Now, let's talk about next, nourishing our mind. We don't think about this often, but it's so important. What are the thoughts that we're thinking? What are we focusing on? Where are we giving our attention to with social media or TV or YouTube videos, right? How do we speak to ourselves? What beliefs are we holding on to? We each have about 60,000 thoughts each day, and about 75% are negative and 95% are repetitive, which means that we get stuck in this loop of anxiety and stress and overwhelm and feeling stuck. And if you're there, Trust me, I know. I've been there as well, and I still find myself there every once in a while. The key piece is awareness and acknowledgement. Because once you bring awareness to it, we have agency over it. We can do something about it. And so one of the things that you can do is being mindful about positive self-talk, saying something nice to yourself today and every day, saying that you love yourself every day. I actually remember doing a video a couple of years ago where I was primarily working with moms, and I encouraged them to look in the mirror, look deep into their eyes, and tell themselves they love themselves every day. And I didn't realize the impact that that made, because it actually triggered a lot of people. And it's okay if it's triggering you just thinking about it, because in our society, many of us haven't been taught to love ourselves, to accept ourselves exactly as we are. And that is a piece of nourishment that many people don't talk about, and is so important to accept ourselves exactly as we are in this moment, to love ourselves exactly as we are. It doesn't mean that we can't also want to improve and that we also want what's best for us. And let's take a moment to really acknowledge, on this crazy journey of life, after everything I've experienced, after everything I've been through, I am right here. I'm exactly here right now. And just really sitting in that and being comfortable in that and loving that, loving the journey, loving the process, loving exactly as we are. And so this also goes into nourishing our souls, because this is where radiance and vitality and passion and life force come in. Are we expressing our creativity? Are we connecting with our higher power, with the divine? What state are we in the majority of the time? Is it anger and frustration, anxiety, or fear? Or are we experiencing grace and forgiveness and gratitude and compassion and love on a regular basis? That's where the trust comes in, that our higher power, the divine, our creator, whatever word you use, has our back, that we're supported, and that everything is working out exactly as we need. In divine timing, we are exactly where we need to be on our journey. Feel that within you. This is a key piece of the Radiant Health Protocol, that connection to the divine and working with the divine for guidance and support and faith and trust. And so when we talk about this spiritual alignment and soul nourishment, we also have to take a look at our environment, our relationships, our family dynamics, our business or our career, again, our creative expression. Where are the gaps? What's not in alignment? And how do we get more into alignment? Because when we take care of our inner well-being and happiness, everything changes on a health and wellness perspective. It's about intentional self-care without feeling guilt about it. And it doesn't have to take a lot of time. Again, as a busy mom, as a single mom, I've realized how to build in this self-care throughout the day so that it becomes a state of your being. It's not an extra thing to do on your checklist. And we also have to be aware of what's happening on emotional and energetic levels, because that's a reflection of our physical body and vice versa. So it's this awareness of all of these root causes and how do we get in alignment with them? Because this root cause of not being in alignment with holistic nutrition and nourishment presents itself in so many different ways in signs and symptoms. It can be fatigue, it can be food allergies, it can be pain, it can be infertility, skin conditions, autoimmunity, digestive conditions, insomnia, mental and emotional health, hormonal imbalances, even weight loss. So put Radiant in the comments to make sure you get that full Masterclass series for free. And for those of you that are ready to experience nourishment on all levels like never before and get to the root causes of your signs and symptoms, click below for the special month of support package at 89% off for a limited time and get customized solutions to activate your radiant health, wellness, and vitality. Because I want you to experience less signs or symptoms, or no signs or symptoms. How would that change your life? Right? Just really think about that. How would your life be different if you didn't have to deal with all these signs and symptoms? And I want you to have energy and vitality to do the things you love, to make an impact on the world and your family, and spend time in presence with your family and loved ones. How would that change your life? What would become possible for you? This also goes, again, on a business and career level. What kind of impact would you have on the world? And I want you to experience alignment in all areas of your life, because we look at this not just on a physical level. It's physical, mental, emotional, energetic, and spiritual. It's not just about the physical body. And with the Radiant Health Protocol, I make health and wellness fun and exciting. I love seeing clients connect the dots, put together the puzzle pieces, and feel the shifts and changes, not just in health, but in life as a whole. There's a life coaching aspect to this. And clients that I've worked with have seen shifts in their family dynamics, in their relationships, in their businesses, being able to bring in more financial abundance, in their energy levels, in their vitality and life force, in their joy. They feel lighter physically. This is transformational. This is health, wellness, and life transformation. Now, what are the next steps, right? There are some of you who in this moment want to figure it out on your own. And that's okay. You want to go through the trial and error. And that's why I have this free masterclass series, because it will give you a framework and guideline and lots of tips to work through and get started. And then there are those of you who want the fast track. You want to get results now, and you don't want to make mistakes. You don't want to miss components, and you want guidance, support, and accountability to get results. You want to address the root causes. And again, right now it's 89% off for a full month of custom support. You get a one-on-one consultation. You get a custom plan made for you. You get access to the Radiant Health and Wellness Live program, weekly accountability, multiple checkpoints, and lots of resources specific to you for your transformation, so you never feel alone. I am literally holding your hand through this process. So click below and get the results that you want and the support that you need now. And if you're a practitioner, can you think of a client that would benefit from this approach? Someone you can help today if you knew how to work with the system? You can sign up for the package as well and experience the protocol for yourself, or a comment practitioner, and I will reach out and share more information about the mentorship options and ways that we can transform your practice in your life today. So if you're ready to experience nourishment on all levels, get to the root causes of your signs and symptoms, skip the mistakes, get guidance, support, accountability, click below for the special month of support at 89% off for a limited time. Get customized solutions to activate your radiant health, wellness, and vitality. And again, make sure you comment Radiant to get the full masterclass series. And as well, watch out for the next videos coming up. The next one is going to be on decoding your body, which is so key. It is the one that connects all the pieces together. And there's going to be so many tips and action steps sprinkled in there that will transform your health and wellness. All right, I will see you on the next video. And remember that you too can activate radiant health, wellness, and vitality with your body as your ally. Take care.